Good morning, everybody, and aloha. My name is Emily Rutkowski. I'm an Indian State College graduate, and I am the recipient of the second annual poker run held by the Fort Pierce Yacht Club. I wanted to make this video to give a big thank you to everybody involved. Thanks to you, I was able to spend the summer at Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute for their summer internship. Let me tell you about what I did there. During my internship, I studied the sponge suberites aurantiacus. This sponge comes in 4 different colors: red, green, blue, and purple. It has branched-like finger projections and is normally found in the Gulf of Mexico, Bahamas, Caribbean, and Brazilian coast. However, recently, Jim Oppenborn from St. Lucie County contacted Harbor Branch saying that he noticed this sponge growing on his oyster reef restoration bags. So I performed a survival and population survey. Because this sponge is not found in Florida waters, I wanted to determine its prevalence, so I surveyed 10 sites in the central and southern Indian River Lagoon. I started at Wildcat Cove because this is where Jim Oppenborn first noticed them. I then surveyed the southern tip of Jack Island, near the Jensen Beach Bridge, the Harbor Branch Channel and Espoila Island near the channel, the Wabasso Bridge, and the Environmental Learning Center. I also wanted to determine its survival because the Indian River Lagoon can have varying salinities depending on whether you're near an inlet or if it's a wet or dry season. So I collected 2 different samples, a green and a red sponge, and observed their performance in 4 different salinities. For the survey, I found sponges at the Environmental Learning Center, the Harbor Branch Channel, and all Wildcat Cove sites. However, although the sponges were found at about 60% of the sites surveyed, their densities in these sites were very low, only reaching between 1 and 13%. For its survival, I found that it is very susceptible to changes in salinities, with the majority dying at anything lower than 30 to 35 parts per thousand, which is normal saltwater. However, I did notice a difference in the different morphotypes, or colors. The red sponge was much more resistant to change in salinity than the green sponge, which explains why in the surveys at Wildcat Cove, red was the dominant color seen. But your efforts didn't stop there. Not only was I able to participate in the summer internship at Harbor Branch, I was also accepted for a position here at the Hawaii Institute of Marine Biology, specifically because I had that sponge experience. And even more specifically, because I had that sponge experience with suberites aurantiacus, which was recently found here in the waters of Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii. Here at the Hawaii Institute of Marine Biology, we are deploying small sampling devices called ARMS, or Autonomous Reef Monitoring Structures. They are composed of 4 layers of plates stacked only 1 centimeter away from each other. They are placed in the desired spot and allowed to grow. This device helps us see what organisms are growing in the tiny crevices of reefs, which normally would be too hard to access or impossible to without destroying the reef. So far, we have found 100 new species of sponge just here in the Pacific. This research is important to help understand sponge biodiversity, distribution, and function. It can also help to identify and protect native species, detect the arrival of future sponge introductions, and monitor changes in the environment in response to human impacts. This discovery can also lead to opportunities in pharmaceutical exploration of the natural products from both the sponges and the microbes associated with them. Once again, I just want to thank everyone in the Fort Pierce Yacht Club for their help and support. I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. And as you can see, you're not just helping the community, you're helping the world. Happy holidays and aloha!